What's going on, guys? Tanner bringing you another video. What I got for you guys today is we're going to be discussing another Air Force basic training topic. And today's topic is going to be what my first night at basic training was like. Now, I know I made like a zero night video like a while back, and I wanted to make another one. But beforehand, I was looking at the analytics on the channel today, and I saw that 94.3% of the people who have been watching my videos in the last month have not been subscribed. So if you are watching the content you are enjoying, please consider hitting that subscribe button, turning on the post notification bell to know when we post a video, and sticking around for the future videos, especially if you're considering enlisting. Now, for me, zero night was it was all one big blur. So I flew out of Sacramento International Airport, and I landed in, I think it was Phoenix. Yeah, it was Phoenix, and I had a small layover there, about an hour, and then I flew from Phoenix to San Antonio. Now, when you get out of you get off the plane in San Antonio, you have to walk a decent amount of ways, at least with the terminal we flew into. It was like a 10-minute walk. And so as you're walking down there, you know, you're making your phone call. I think I called my mom right away, and I was like, yo, I just got here. I don't know when I'm going to talk to you again. I love you, you know, that kind of stuff. So I turn off my phone, and I get there, and then that's the first time you actually see an MTI. They have one posted, or at least they did when I was there. They had one posted inside the airport, and you gave them like your packet, and so they knew that you were there to go on the buses and stuff like that. And then afterwards, they put you on, I'll put a picture of it like right here, and it was like a seat, like the bench you'd see at like at a soccer game. It didn't have a back. It was just like, imagine a lawn chair, but without the back, and like 5 of them are strapped together. And it's like rows of that, and you're sitting on those, and then they file you in bus by bus by bus, and you go into basic. And so I finally got on my bus, and you're sitting on it, and the ride felt like forever. And I think it was about a 25-minute ride. And it's, you know, there's no lights in the bus. It's dark. You don't know anyone. So you're just sitting there in the dark. You're quiet. You know, most people have their phone already put away because they don't want to get in trouble. They don't know if the bus driver is, you know, active duty, if he's like someone that's going to yell at them, because you don't know anything yet. You're just getting to basic. And so after that, you get to basic. The bus pulls up in front of the PRC, the Finkston Reception Center, which is where you're going to spend a lot of time at basic. It's where the coin ceremony is. It's where, when they had Airman's Week, you spent pretty much all of Airman's Week there. You have a couple things that you do out there. You practice your graduation day marching out there and things like that. And so you pull up in front, and that is the first moment you see an MTI, like a legit MTI who's going to yell. Because the one at the airport's not yelling. You know, they're in public. You know, there's other people there. They're not going to be screaming at you. So you see the first MTI, and I actually had a female MTI get on the bus. And from what I watched in videos, female MTIs always screamed a lot more than male MTIs, and they were a lot louder. And from the look of it, meaner. And so I just assumed I was about to get chewed. Just screamed at. And so this, you know, the female MTI, tech sergeant, gets on the bus. She has the campaign hat, and there's like 4 more MTIs waiting like right outside the bus, like looking at us through the window, and they're just like, yeah, these guys are about to freak out. And she gets on there and she screams, all right, listen up. You know, single file out. These people go here, these people go there, guys there, girls there. You know, single file. No running. And I was like, all right, or at least I don't have to worry about tripping getting off the bus. And she says, don't say anything, you know, and then just stand there. And so you get in all these lines, these long lines, you're waiting outside the PRC. And then that's where we had a bunch of airmen who walked us inside, like they showed us where to go. And still no one's talking, you know, you're not saying anything. And so we're all just sitting there. And I remember them telling us to get stuff out of our bags. And I couldn't find something that they wanted. Like, it was in there, I just couldn't find it. Like, I was stressing. It was like a piece of paper, something they needed for RM processing. And as we're walking in, like, I don't know what job or what career field these airmen had to get this. They were like a bunch of A1Cs. I was like, this is probably the best job ever. You don't have to say anything. All these airmen are scared of you, even though you're only an A1C. Well, actually trainees at the time, not airmen. And you just get to chill. And so you walk inside, and they sit you on the floor, and you're sitting on the floor for what felt like hours. And it turned out it actually was an hour. It was a legit hour. We were just sitting on the floor in the lobby of the PRC waiting to be pulled into the auditorium to be talked to. And eventually we got pulled in there, and then we handed our paperwork to the front, and then they gave us a box nasty, which if you don't know what a box nasty is, it's literally just a bagged lunch. It's like a nasty turkey sandwich or a ham sandwich or something like that. I think some people got like bologna or something like that. A water or a juice or something. It was a bottle of water, an apple, and some crackers or something like that. I don't remember I think it was crackers I think it was saltines, something nasty. And so they give you that and they tell you go ahead and eat it. And then after you're done eating, they move you to the back, and you're just sitting there and you're waiting for your name to be called. And they have it on a projector. For us is what they did. They had a projector pointed behind it, and you saw your name get put up there. And if your name got put up there, you knew you were about to get called, and that's when you knew stuff was about to get real. You're like, oh, I'm gonna meet my MTI. I'm gonna do all this. It's time to go. So I get pulled, and my name gets put up there, and a bunch of other people. And coincidentally, the guy I was sitting next to, I don't know if he remembers this, but I remember him. One of my buddies was one of my best friends at basic training. His name is Alex Severson. And he actually had some like medical stuff, or I don't remember what it was. Something medically didn't get cleared before basic training ended, and he got medically discharged out of basic. And we were supposed to go to the same tech school together. So I was upset when I found out that was literally graduation week. He got sent home. It was one of the, oh my gosh, I had to walk him to all of his appointments, and I was sad, dude. That was my boy at basic. And I don't know if you remember that, but he was actually sitting right next to me, and we got pulled for the same flight. And so we end up going, and where we finally meet our MTI, and you have a team member and a team chief. So you have two MTIs. You have your main MTI, and then they call him the team member, like it's like your secondary MTI. So our first MTI was Sergeant Holworth, and then Sergeant Gonzalez was our team member. And so we met Sergeant Holworth first, and I'm gonna be honest, she was very serious, but it was different because she was more of a mother to us. She wanted us to learn. Like, she would yell when people pissed her off or when you did something stupid, but she wouldn't get frustrated if you couldn't figure something out. She would actually take the time to make sure that you got it so she didn't have to yell again. And I actually really enjoyed that. The way I've always thought of it, no one's gonna learn if you're screaming in their face. They're just gonna panic. You have to, if you take a second, this is how you do this, do it. And then if they mess up, then yell, But that's how she operated, and I felt, it worked. Like, our flight was good at a lot of stuff because of that, that one trait that she had. So we meet her, and we march from the Fingston Reception Center to the 320th Training Squadron, which is now, it's called Disneyland. It was like the new dorms, and I got blessed. I got, really good MTIs. I got a really good flight. I got the brand new dorms. Like, I got lucky when I got there, and I quick shipped. I left on 3 days notice, so everything, I got a good job, 3 days notice, good MTIs, good squadron, good flight. I got blessed like no other when it came to this. So we got outside the dorm, and then that's when they do the put it down, pick it up, put it down, pick it up thing, like 3 times. And then she said single file into the dorm. And I don't remember if we picked our dorm. I think, because there was a bunch of MTIs waiting at that time we walked in. I think picked our bunks. We just walked in. I think they just said grab one, or I think they had your name on it. I can't remember that aspect of it. But we got our bunk, and I was right inside the bay, like right inside the door, right to the left, and then the second bed on the right. And then I ended up moving to the bed across from it, like halfway through basic. They moved us around. So I was like right in there. And I had 2 people next to me. One of them was one of my buddies, Curly. I'm not sure if he watches my videos, but that's one of my boys to this day. He was next to me. And then we had another guy who actually didn't make it through basic either. He got discharged for something. He just didn't want to be there. And so he got out. They let him out. And so, we got there. We were at our beds, and they told us to go and shave, and then you were going to shave again in the morning, because by this time it was 3 a.m. We didn't get to our dorm until about 3, and we got up at 5 for, I think we had early wake up because we had to go somewhere at like heck early. It was tough. I mean, it was tough. 2 hours of sleep after this. So when you get into the dorms, they have you make your, no, were the beds made? Beds were made. Beds were made for us. They have you unpack your stuff, set your backpack on the locker. They started going through a bunch of our stuff there. And that's where, you know, they check your bags, make sure you don't have anything you're not supposed to. You're still getting yelled at, you know, get out of the middle of the bays. Like, don't walk down the middle. People are asking questions. Like, so we had a lot of people asking questions, and then some people just didn't speak. But overall, like, it wasn't anything hectic. It wasn't anything crazy. Like, I've seen some videos where people, and I know they're exaggerating because I've been through basic, maybe their MTIs were just, you know, a little crazy, but it's nothing insane. You know, like, you go to the PRC, you go to your dorm, and then you go to bed. That's all really zero night is in a nutshell. And then you wake up the next day, and that's when shit gets real. And I remember I didn't sleep the first night. I slept on the plane because I knew I wasn't going to be able to sleep for however long. So I said, I'm going to get my sleep now. And I remember hearing the door open because you have your EC monitors, which are an older flight. Until you get EC duty, you have an older flight doing your EC until like week 3. And I remember hearing them open the door to the dorm, and I could hear them just like slowly opening it, and I could hear the MTIs funneling in, and all I thought was, here we go. I was just like bracing myself, and then the lights flip on, and I'm gonna tell you, those lights in the dorms are bright as hell when it's early in the morning. Those lights flip on, and all you hear is screaming, get up, get up, get up. I remember I had an MTI because I was like the first bed. I had one like in my face screaming to get up, and I was like sitting there like, I can't really, I mean, you're like 6'4", 280, like up in my shit, like I can't move. And he was screaming, and you have all these people, you know, running around. One kid cried. That was probably one of the funniest things. And then they tell you, you know, get dressed. And then they tell you to shave. And I remember I got tasked to go and help a kid shave who he barely had any facial hair. He had never shaved in his life. He had never done it. And they told me, make sure he didn't cut himself. And this kid, he dry shaved, first off. I mean, I dry shave daily, but I shave with the grain. I don't shave against the grain when I dry shave. If I use shaving cream, then I shave against it. But, you know, if I just need to shave real quick, with the grain, dry shave. I always have a brand new blade, so it cuts real easily. This kid had a dull blade, and he dry shaved and cut his face so bad. He was literally bleeding. It looked like he fought Freddy Krueger. Comes out, and he gets roasted by an MTI, just screaming in his face. And then I get blasted because this kid didn't know how to shave. And I was like, sir, he didn't use shaving cream. Like, I was shaving, I looked over, and he was just going, dry shaving, and he got his face cut up. But overall, guys, like I said, basic training, zero night, it's nothing insane. It's kind of, you know, the next morning is when shit gets real. But first night, they honestly just get you to your dorm and then put you to sleep. Go to bed. I know a lot of people who their MTIs let them sleep in because their first appointment wasn't until later in the afternoon. One of my buddies, he said that they slept until like 11 a.m. I was like, dude, if I got that, I would have been so happy. 11 a.m.? But then if you wake up before they come in, I mean, you're just laying there waiting like, what the hell is going on, you know? So I was fine with getting up at 5 instead of having to just lay there. But yeah, I hope this helped, guys, and you understand what zero night is really like. It's very relaxed, like, to be honest. There's nothing insane about it. It might have changed since I went through in 2017, but I doubt it has. It's probably gotten a lot easier. But if you did enjoy, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you are new. Like I said, 94.3% of the people who watch these videos aren't subscribed. 15.5% of you, I'm looking at the analytics, 15.5% of you have post notifications turned on, so I appreciate the majority of you. That's a big chunk to have them on. So if you haven't subscribed, turn on notifications, hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm so other people can watch this video and, you know, they can learn about it. And leave a comment about what your zero night was like. I'd love to see the different people's experiences from zero night. But that's going to do it for today's video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.